parents taught me a very important lesson. And this was, when they tell me to do something, I really only had one good option. And that was to do it. There wasn't any, let's make a deal, or as long as I can do things my way. It was either obey or face the consequences. In the same way, God teaches very clearly that there is only one way to heaven. Today I'll be analyzing and responding to the statement, it doesn't matter what you believe, as long as you are sincere. Now I have three main points. First of all, beliefs determine actions. Secondly, that the Bible teaches clearly there is only one way to heaven. And thirdly, the problems, the basic social problems with this postmodern or tolerant mindset. First of all, beliefs determine actions. It says in Proverbs 23:7, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Each person believes something. Even you might meet someone who says, oh, I don't believe in anything at all. Well, that's exactly what he does believe. He believes in no absolutes whatsoever. And what we do determines how we act. Our sincerity in what we believe also determined in the passion that we put towards what we believe. The 9/11 terrorists were sincere. They were sincere in what they believed in destroying the Christians of the evil empire. But they were also sincerely wrong, as they will find out for eternity. Sincerity does not equal reality. Hitler was another man who was sincere. He wanted to create the pure race by instituting Darwinism, but here was another man who was sincerely wrong. You see how the beliefs of Hitler, his belief in Darwinism, in evolution, led him to the belief that it was not wrong to kill the Jews because supposedly they were not as pure as the Aryan race. Darwinism has social implications. According to a professor from Purdue University, some took it a step further. Just as natural weeds die out, the unfit and enlightened society ought to weed out its unfit and permit them to die off, so as not to weaken the racial stock. This idea eventually led to a variety of practices and beliefs, including Nazism. It was the belief, the sincere belief in evolution as a scientific theory that led to Hitler and to his social implications of Nazism. Beliefs determine actions, and sincerity does not equal reality. You may sincerely believe that there is a bridge crossing a rushing river, but if that bridge does not exist, it will fail you. It will fail you. Any belief that is not grounded in reality will fail you. Secondly, the Bible teaches there is only one way to heaven. Now, mainly, humankind has failed. God demanded perfection in the Old Testament and the New Testament. It says in 1 Peter, because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. Man failed the call of God, God's perfection. It says in Romans 3:10, as it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. Man has failed. And Jesus was the perfect sacrifice, the only way that man could meet up to the standards of God. Jesus' perfect life and his holiness was given to mankind because we can never meet the standards of God on our own. God gave us that chance. That's the only way. Think about it. If there had been any other way for Jesus Christ not to have to die and man still make it to heaven, wouldn't God, his Father, have chosen it? But God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16. There's only one way to heaven. Jesus said to his disciples in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father, but by me. Herein is love. Not that we love God, but that he loved us and sent his Son to be the propitiation for our sin. 1 John 4:10. This is the way, the only way that God has provided, and God has made it clear that there is no other way. God is not some evil dictator intent on narrowing our way to happiness. He is showing us the only straight and narrow path. In Pilgrim's Progress, there are many roads that say they lead to the celestial city, but there is only one way that actually does. And though the other paths may appear to go right alongside that path, they eventually lead to death. And finally, the problems with this postmodern mindset. First of all, it's illogical. If the Bible claims to be true, and another religion also claims to be true, they cannot both be right. If we accept one, we must reject the other. Postmodern cannot stand on two truths. They must choose. The editor of New Christian Magazine said, if there are no moral absolutes, there is no boundary or circumference that would control and guide anyone in their moral beliefs and context. The words and actions of Jesus Christ, as set forth in the Bible, can be our only clear guide, our only clear way to know what is right and wrong. It does matter what you believe. It does matter. No matter how sincere you are, our beliefs determine how we act. Darwinism determines how we act. Postmodernism determines how we act. My parents made me obey because they loved me. They loved me so much, they told me there was one way to do it right, there was one option, and that is obedience to Christ. In the words of hymn writer Horatio Bonar, no other work but yours will do, no other blood will do, no strength but that which is divine can bear me strength safely